and organizing the presidential primary debates is one of the premier responsibilities, of course, of the Republican National Committee. We are joined now by the chairwoman of the RNC, Ronna McDaniel. Ronna, thank you for being here on the Hill on NewsNation. We appreciate it. I know you got a pretty busy week ahead of you here coming up. It has been, to my count at least, 2,716 days from the last Republican presidential debate, and here we are with it days away. What are you expecting coming up next week?
Well, first of all, I'm enjoying your panel. I kind of just want to be here and listen to what they're saying.
Sit up here with us one afternoon. You're more than welcome. We'd love to have you.
All the commentary is fascinating. Listen, I contrary to your Democrat guest from D.C. And his great opinion, I think a lot of people are going to tune in. I think there's a lot of interest. I think people this summer were vacationing. It's the first summer people got post-COVID to really be all over the world and the country and be with family. And I think now they're dialing in and they're saying, you know what? We've got a presidential race ahead of us. I want to look at these candidates. I want to kick the tires. And this debate stage next Wednesday is going to give them a great opportunity to do that.
Of course, Ronna, the big question right now is Donald Trump. Will he show up? Has he told you that what he's going to do one way or the next?
If he told me, he could still change his mind. So you know, President Trump's going to keep everyone guessing. He's the ultimate entertainer. And I think this is part of what he does so well is keeps his name in the news. But I want him to show up. I want all of them to show up. I think it's good for the American people to see debate. I view it less about getting a nomination and Republican versus Republican as setting a course to beat Joe Biden and making sure that we're contrasting what our party stands for versus him.
Have you gotten a yes or a no, though, at this point, Ronna?
I have not. I have not received a definitive yes or no.
Is there going to be some sort of a deadline or a timeline? I mean, after all, he is the former president of the United States, the de facto leader of the Republican Party right now. If he were to come at the last minute, would you allow him?
Well, there is a deadline from a Secret Service standpoint, from a staging standpoint for all the candidates. So that Monday night before the debate is when all the criteria has to be met in order to make the debate stage, which is, you know, the polling threshold, the small dollar donor threshold, obviously the pledge. And so if we haven't heard by then, we'll have a set debate stage.
Okay, so you say there's this Monday night deadline. Of course, one of the other requirements has been this loyalty pledge, meaning essentially to be on the debate stage, you have to sign a pledge to say whoever the nominee is, you will support them. Here's what Donald Trump has said about the loyalty pledge, and I want to get your reaction on the other side.
I mean, I have a problem with the debate for another reason. I wouldn't sign the pledge. Why would I sign a pledge? There's people on there that I wouldn't have.
Ronna, if Donald Trump says at some point, you know what, I want a debate, I'm going to get up on that stage, but I am not going to sign this loyalty pledge, would you really keep him off the debate stage if he doesn't sign it?
Well, one, he's signed the pledge before, and he's signed it to get on the South Carolina ballot. So I think if Donald Trump wants to be on the debate stage, he's going to do what he needs to do to be on the debate stage. But it's called the Beat Biden Pledge. It's about making sure that whoever the voters choose, that whoever gets on that stage, if you make your case, that you're going to support the will of the voters to do what is the most important to every Republican in this country, which is beating Joe Biden. So it's the Beat Biden Pledge. And that's the rule. The rules are the rules. But I have a feeling that if he wants to be on the debate stage, he's going to sign that pledge. He's done it before.
Last question on this. Are there any negotiations right now between yourself, the RNC, and the Trump campaign as to what getting him on the debate stage would look like?
No, you know, we've talked to all the candidates and all the campaigns. We have to be neutral, right? So I talked to Chris Christie. I talked to President Trump. I talked to Mike Pence or Vice President Pence. We've talked to all of them specifically about the donor threshold as they're submitting their names to make sure they've met that criteria. But we have been very, very fair-handed in how we've worked with each campaign. But I have made no bones about the fact that I want President Trump to be on that debate stage. I think that's good for our party. And remember, if he does end up being the nominee, this is the beginning of that conversation with the American people as to beating Joe Biden. So I think all this time in front of the press and in front of independent voters and getting our message out is important and critical to taking up that oxygen and making sure we're getting our message across as a party.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.